everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is the second part in the Father's Day card making series. I was going to do one big video but it was too long, so last week was the intricate cut card and today is the foiled card. This one was easy to make. You will need a Cricut foiling tool kit, however personally I think it is such a great investment. I've used mine loads since I've had it. I think you'll find it really great as well if you decide to go for it. Everything I've used today is detailed in the description box down below, so if you've got any questions about materials, the machine that I've used or anything like that, it's all detailed down below. So let's jump into this step-by-step tutorial to how to make this fab foiled Father's Day card. So for the second Father's Day card, I'm going to use the same piece of blue cardstock. So this one is a foiling project, so I've already gone into Design Space and picked up this nice design from the Access store. So I'm going to just cut off the excess from this piece of card that was left from the first card that we've made. And this is what we're going to do our foiling on. Right, so I've got my piece of card and I'm just going to pop that on there. Okay, so now I need to get my foil and I'm going to use silver foil on this particular design. So the silver foil is the one that comes with the toolkit. So you get that in a little wallet like this. So I'm not using the tape again today because it has damaged my project previously. So there is my silver foil. Alright, so now what we need to do is I am going to just trim down this piece of foil because I don't want it to stick to my mat at all. If it sticks to my mat it will ruin it. So let's just cut that bit off. So now we've got a nice squarish piece. Right, so what we need to do is look at our mat on screen. So we go to make it. And we're going to just look at mat number 2. Alright, so when I say we need to look at where it's going to make it, we need to look at where the foiling starts so that we get our piece of foil in the right place on the mat. So let's just look at this. So it is going to foil just before the 1, so it's going to be about there, and then it's going to foil down to 10. We've got plenty of room on the 10, and then it's going to foil over to the 10 on the other side. So we've got plenty of room if we position it there, because obviously if we get our foil in the wrong place on our physical mat, then we're not going to have it in the right place for foiling at all, and then we're going to end up with either wasted foil, it's going to ruin the design, parts of it won't foil, and it's just irritating. So it's important to take some time to just look at where your foil is on your mat. Okay, so now I've just taped down the bottom, and you need to keep your foil as taut as you can. So let's just put our tape on the top, and I like to press it down lightly, and then I pull that, then I pull that foil nice and taut and press it down so that there's no wrinkles. If there's the odd wrinkle, it's alright, it's not going to affect it too much. But if you can avoid wrinkling, it is definitely better to do so. You don't want to put it on too much either. And then we've just got our last little bit to put on there. Okay. So that's foiled down nicely. The machine is showing me that it wants to cut the first mat first. So what I'm going to do is just turn my mat around, and I'm going to put my other piece of card on there. And for that I'm going to use a piece of the blue that we used for the envelope of the last card. So I'm just going to cut out a rough piece of that because I don't need to be too accurate with my sizing. And then this is going to go on the other edge of the same mat. So I'm using the same mat for 2 mats worth of project, and I'll show you now what I'm going to do and how that works as a bonus. So the first mat is just a basic cut, so all we need to do is pop the mat into the machine. Just going to click continue on the laptop, and then I'm going to choose the cardstock for intricate cuts again, and it's telling me it wants the fine point blade, which we've already got loaded. The C button is flashing away. Let's hit that and it will do our cut. Just as a second pass again. Okay, so we can now eject the mat, and all we need to do is flip it around and pop it back in for our foiling and cut for this part. So let's just insert the mat. So on the computer now we need to choose our material for this, and because I normally use poster board setting because I don't actually have a setting for 160 GSM, but I'm going to go light cardstock on this and see what happens. So it's telling me now I need the foil transfer tool with the medium tip. I've already got my medium tip in my blue housing, so there it is. I'm just going to pop that back in. Let's take out the fine point and then let's pop in that. Okay, we're ready to go, so we can just click on the flashing C. So even with us measuring it and putting it on in the right spot, what I thought was the right spot, it's still gone over the tape a little bit. So it will be interesting to see whether that has foiled properly in that section. Okay, so we've got to take off the foil now. So we don't unload the mat at all, because if we unload it we won't be able to cut. So let's just peel off all of our masking tape. It'll be interesting to see if we have cut in the right spot. Let's just pull that off. Oh, it's not too bad. I'm going to pull that off. Just going to pop down a little bit of masking tape on there as well. So now I need to just switch back to the fine point blade, take out the foiling tool and pop in the fine point, and then just hit the go button again. So it's just cut out the box around the design now. Let's just check that that has cut. Yep, perfect. So we can now eject the mat. So here's the piece of foil that we've used. You can see where it's used pressure to apply the foil colouring to our cardstock. And I should have said at the start actually that the foil always goes down with the shiny side or the coloured side up, and on the back they all are the same colour. So that is your piece of foil used. You can't reuse it really unless you've got like an extremely tiny space that you're going to foil, but then I think that's going to be quite difficult to do. So because we use this mat for 2 sections of the project, what we can do now is just take that off, just take that piece off. This mat's really old, so it doesn't really need flipping over because it's got hardly any stick to it. So there is our first piece, and then on the other edge of the mat is the piece that I want to use to back it with. So I've got my two designs there like so. I am a massive fan of these cards. They are pre-cut, pre-scored. They work out to be about 5p each from my wholesaler. They come as a card and an envelope, so we don't need to worry about making an envelope for this card. So let's just fold along the pre-done score line for this one. And then we're going to just attach these onto here. So it's super quick and easy to do. I'm going to use double-sided tape for this again. I'll just show you the first couple that I put on. I'm not going to go through the whole thing putting these on. So let's just get a couple of strips. Okay, so I've got all my double-sided tape attached to my two pieces of card. I've got my card. So this is going to be the bottom layer. I'm just going to line my card up on my cutting mat grid so it gives me a rough idea of where it's going. And then the same with my foiled sheet. Just use my roller to go over it. There's our second Father's Day card. So that's it. It's so easy to make a foiled Father's Day card using your Cricut Maker. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a big thumbs up down below. And if you've got any comments, drop them in the comments box. And questions, I will always try to answer them personally. So have a brilliant week. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.